Lucas Carter was a man who trusted no one, especially when it came to his son. By 35, he'd built a fortune from nothing, but his greatest pride wasn't his empire. It was Ethan, his bright-eyed 8-year-old. Then came the accident. The doctors said Ethan would never walk again. The silence that followed was thick, unbreakable. Lucas hired nannies, strict professionals, cheerful caregivers, but none lasted. Some couldn't handle Ethan's tantrums. Others gave up when he refused to speak. Then came Sophie Hart. Her resume was impeccable. Years of pediatric care, specialized training, child trauma. But it was her gentleness that struck Lucas. The way she didn't flinch when Ethan threw his food. The patience in her voice as she read to him, even when he gave no reaction. For the first time in months, Ethan seemed calmer. Still, Lucas checked the cameras every night. Most footage was mundane. Sophie helping Ethan with therapy, humming lullabies, tucking him in. But then, 3:17 a.m. The timestamp glowed in the dark as Lucas leaned closer to the screen. Sophie entered Ethan's room. Silent. She knelt beside his bed, lips close to his ear, and then Ethan smiled. A real smile, not the vacant expression he'd worn since the accident. Lucas's breath caught. He rewound, played it again. No sound, just Sophie's lips moving, and Ethan's face alive for the first time in years. What did she say to him? The next morning, Lucas watched Sophie carefully. She moved with quiet confidence, helping Ethan into his wheelchair, brushing his hair with steady hands. "Did Ethan sleep well?" Lucas tested. Sophie didn't look up. "He did. No nightmares." Lucas hesitated. "I noticed you checked on him last night." This time, she met his gaze. "I always do." A chill ran down his spine. That night he checked the cameras again. Same time, 3:17 a.m. Sophie entered. Whispered. This time, Ethan's fingers twitched. A movement so small Lucas almost missed it. His son hadn't moved his hands voluntarily in 2 years. Lucas's pulse pounded in his ears. Who was this woman? And what was she doing to his son? He couldn't sleep. Every night, like clockwork, Sophie entered Ethan's room at 3:17 a.m., whispering something that made his son react in ways no doctor ever had. He needed answers. The confrontation. The next morning, Lucas blocked Sophie's path as she carried Ethan's breakfast. "We need to talk." His voice was low, controlled. Sophie's grip tightened on the tray. "About the cameras, the whispers. What are you doing to my son?" For a moment she hesitated. Then she set the tray down. "Ethan isn't just physically disabled, Mr. Carter. His mind is trapped, locked away by trauma. I've been helping him." Lucas's jaw clenched. "How?" Sophie took a deep breath. 2 years ago, I was in an accident. I died for 3 minutes. When I came back, I could hear things, voices. Faint, but there." Lucas scoffed. "You expect me to believe that?" Before she could answer, "She talks to Mommy." Both turned. Ethan sat in his wheelchair at the doorway, speaking clearly, his eyes wide. Awake. Lucas's heart stopped. The revelation. Sophie knelt beside Ethan, her voice gentle. "You hear her too, don't you?" Ethan nodded. "Mommy says she's sorry. She didn't mean to leave." Lucas staggered back. His wife's last words before the crash had been, "I'm sorry," a detail no one knew. The final night. That night, Lucas watched the camera feed with shaking hands. At 3:17 a.m., Sophie entered Ethan's room again, but this time she didn't whisper. She pulled something from her pocket, a small, silver pendant. Ethan's breath hitched. "Mommy's necklace." Lucas's blood ran cold. His wife had been wearing that necklace the day she died. It had vanished from the crash site. Sophie placed it in Ethan's palm. "She's been waiting for you to let go." Ethan's fingers curled around it. A tear rolled down his cheek. And then, the wheelchair creaked. Lucas's breath caught as Ethan's legs twitched. The miracle. The next morning, Lucas rushed into Ethan's room, only to find it empty. Panicked, he ran downstairs and froze. Ethan actually stood, holding Sophie's hand, his legs trembling but bearing weight. "Daddy," he whispered, smiling. "I'm okay now." Sophie met Lucas's stunned gaze. Sometimes the body just needs the soul to heal first. The goodbye. A week later, Sophie was gone. No note, no trace. Just Ethan walking again, laughing again, and a silver pendant left on his nightstand. Lucas never found out who she really was, but sometimes at 3:17 a.m., he'd hear a faint whisper in the wind. "You're welcome."